Hello everyone, again welcome to our today's lecture, that is Design of Spring, part number 5. Myself Mr. Bipin Patil, lecturer Department of Mechanical Engineering at Sharad Institute of Technology, Polytechnic Edra. So today we are going to learn the content energy stored in helical spring of a circular wire. Then we are going to learn series and parallel connection of a spring, then summary of spring design formulas. Then we are going to discuss a sample problem which is exactly asked in university or MSBT question paper. So let us see the first equation, that is energy stored in helical spring of a circular wire. So as we know that the spring are used for store energy which is equal to the work done on it by the same external load. So as we know, the external load is applied, that is W. You can see here you can see the load is applied on a spring, and delta is the deflection produced in the spring due to the load W. So assuming that the load is applied gradually, here you can see the load is applied gradually and the energy stored in a spring as capital U is equal to 1 by 2 W delta. So here we are giving it as a equation number 1, capital U is equal to 1 upon W delta, where we have seen that W is nothing but the load applied on a spring, and delta is a deflection, that is a change in length of a spring by application of load. So we have already discussed that the maximum shear stress induced in the spring is nothing but tau. So the formula of a tau, here you can see that tau is equal to K, that is the Wahl's correction factor. Here you can see the Wahl's correction factor into 8 W d by pi d cube, or we can say it as a W is equal to pi d cube into tau upon K d. So give it as a equation number 2. Once again we will see this formula. You can see this is a maximum shear stress induced in a spring wire equation, that is calculation of a tau. In some notations it is also used as a Fs, shear force. So you can calculate tau is equal to K, as we have know that the K is calculated using the spring index. So formula of K already we have discussed, that is the stress, that is the Wahl's correction factor, which is due to curvature effect of a spring. So K into 8WD pi d cube, or W is equal to pi d cube tau upon 8KD. So give it as a equation number 2. So we know that the deflection of a spring, earlier we have seen the deflection, that is the delta, and we have derivated the derivation of a delta, that is nothing but 8W d cube, that is the mean diameter, capital D, it is the mean diameter, and into N upon G d raised to 4, where G is a modulus of a rigidity of that particular spring material. So you can see here pi d cube into 8 upon, so it is simplified like this, 8WD. So here you can see pi tau d square into N upon KdG. So here you can see it is the value of W, as we have seen earlier. This is the value of W, which is put in equation number 3, that is pi d cube upon 8 kd. So the final we will get final equation we will get pi tau d square into n upon k dg. So this remains as a denominator k dg, where k is a Wahl's correction factor, then d is a diameter of a wire and g is a modulus of a rigidity. So give it as a equation number 3. So substituting the values of a w and delta in equation number 1. So we have, so here the equation number 1, that is u is equal to 1 upon 1 by 2 into w delta. So as we have the value of w, also we have derivated the formula, that is the formula of delta. So finally we will get the value of w, then the value of delta, and it will become u is equal to tau square upon 4 k square g into pi dn into pi by 4 t square, and finally it will become tau square upon 4 k square g into v. So you can see that is the length into area. So it is nothing but the volume. So you can directly put this formula as a V. So where the V is equal to volume of the spring, so length of the spring wire into cross section of a area of a spring. So pi by 4 d square is the cross section of a spring wire, and the pi dn is nothing but the length of the spring. So the finally we will get the energy stored in spring is nothing but capital U is equal to tau square upon 4 k square g into V. So this is the equation which gives us the energy stored in spring. So take a glance once again on a equation number 1, that is U is equal to 1 upon 2 W delta. Then we have converted the maximum shear stress formula into W in form of W. Then we got the first value of W. Then we calculated the deflection of a spring, that is delta, in terms of this equation, and finally we have got the formula of U, that is energy stored in spring. So let us see, when a load, say it as a P, falls on a spring through a height h, then the energy absorbed in a spring is given by absorption of energy is capital U is equal to load, that is P, into height of a load plus delta, that is the deflection of spring, and that is equal to 1 upon 2 W delta. So the W is equivalent static load, that is the gradual applied load which shall produce the same effect by the falling load P, and delta is the deflection produced by the spring. So this is the formula which gives you the energy absorbed in the spring. On this formula you can calculate the spring absorbed by the force or the energy absorbed by the spring in applications like halls, railway wagons, etc. So let us see the next content, that is series and parallel connection of a spring. So here you can see, consider the spring in series. So consider two springs are connected in a series as shown in this figure. Here it is, the figure shows the series connection. You can see the applied load W, this one spring connected in a series with spring number 2. So both are are having different spring constant, or you can say the stiffness K1, K2. So let us see what is meant by W. W is nothing but the load carried by the springs. Then delta 1 is nothing but the deflection of a spring. Then delta 2 is a deflection of a spring 2. Then K1 is stiffness of a spring, that is K1 is equal to W upon delta 1. K1 is nothing but W, that is load, upon the deflection of a particular spring number 1. So because of the spring constant is different, so that the deflection of spring number 1 is different. Likewise, you can see K2 is equal to, what will it become? W upon delta 2. So the deflection of a spring number 2 is also different. A little consideration will show that when the springs are connected in series, then the total deflection produced by the spring is equal to the sum of the individual springs. So the total deflection is nothing but delta is equal to delta 1 plus delta 2. So it is Wk equal to Wk1 plus Wk2. So it is given here. So the formula will become 1 upon K is equal to, so here K is nothing but the combined stiffness of a springs. It is given. So let us see how exactly the spring parallel connection is done. So consider two springs connected in a parallel as shown in a figure. You can see here it is K1 and K2 having different stiffness. So W is nothing but the load carried by the springs. W1 load shared by the spring number 1. Then considering W2 is the load shared by the spring number 2. K1 is the stiffness of spring 1 and K2 is the stiffness of spring number 2. So here also we are considering, and it is shown that the springs are connected in a parallel, then the total deflection produced by the spring is same as the deflection of a individual spring. So the W is equal to W1 plus W2 load shared by the two different springs. So also delta K is equal to delta K1 plus delta K2. So here you can see how the final equation will become. Delta is taken as a common, so it get cancelled from both of the sides, and we will calculate the combined spring stiffness adding K1 plus K2. So here you can see the combined stiffness of a spring is a K and delta is a deflection produced. So these are the two formulas to calculate the parallel as well as series spring connection formulae. So you can find out here K is equal to K1 plus K2, and in series connection 1 upon K is equal to 1 upon K1 plus 1 upon K2. So let us see the next content, that is the summary of formulas. So as in lecture number 3, 4 and 5 we have seen that the formulas which are used for calculation of spring. So by using this formula you can calculate the solid length of a spring, that is LS, which is solid length. So number of total coils into the spring wire diameter. So it is Ls is equal to N dash into D. Second, we are going to calculate the solid length, free length, which is equal to the solid length plus maximum compression plus the clearance between the adjacent coils, or clash allowance that is given to the springs. So this is a helical spring, and in between the clash allowance is given to avoid the crushing between two wires. So it is called as a crash allowance. So that is given 0.15 to the delta max. So here you can see the formula, that is ND, which is the solid length. Here you can see ND plus delta max, that is the maximum compression, then the clearance between two adjacent coils, that is 0.15 into D max. So this is the overall formula to calculate the free length of a spring. Here the third formula, that is the spring index, as we seen in Wahl's correction factor, in deflection as well as in shear force calculation. We have seen the capital C, which is nothing but the ratio of mean diameter to the wire diameter. Here you can see the formula. Also the mean diameter of a spring is calculated. Here you can see this is the cross section of a spring. Here you can see if this is the one coil of a spring, so this is the mean diameter, that is capital D. The outer diameter you can call it as a DO, and the inner diameter you can call it as a DI. So it is given as the capital diameter D is equal to DO by DI by 2. Then also you can calculate it as a DO minus wire diameter. So outer diameter minus wire diameter, you can calculate it as a spring index. So here you can see the spring rate, that is capital S, is nothing but W upon delta, that is also called a spring rate. So next, pitch, that is small p is equal to free length upon N dash minus 1. Pitch of the coil is also calculated. P is equal to LF minus LS N dash plus wire diameter small d. So here you can see the formula of maximum shear stress due to the curvature of a wire. Tau is equal to K into 8WD upon pi d cube. Here small d is a wire diameter. By simplification, we have replaced that d by d cube by C. So here you will modify this equation, K into W capital C upon pi d square. This square is here. So finally we will get tau is equal to K into 8WC upon pi d square. This is the maximum shear stress due to the curvature of a wire. And the formula number 7 is stiffness of a spring or a spring rate, that is W upon delta, that is GD upon 8C cube N, number of active coils. And the 8th formula, that is Wahl's correction factor or Wahl's stress factor, or we can say it as a spring stress factor, that is K into K is equal to 4C minus 1 upon 4C minus 4 plus 6.615 upon C. As we have seen earlier, that is the spring index is capital D by D, and the value of spring index is varied in Wahl's correction factor, and the value of K is calculated. So this is all about the formulas in unit number 5, that is design of spring. So starting with a simple problem which is on spring. So let us see how exactly the numericals are having weightage of 4 to 6 mark, and such kind of questions will be asked in MSBT board. So let us see the first problem on spring. So here you can see, the first problem, that is question number 1. A compression coil spring made up of an alloy steel having the following specifications. So carefully see the specifications, that is mean diameter of coil is equal to 50 mm. So what is meant by mean diameter? That is capital D. Then wire diameter is equal to 5 mm, that is small d. Then number of active coils, we can say it as a small n. If the spring is subjected to an axial load of 500 Newton, so this is nothing but the load acted on a axis of a spring, or you can say it as a force W. Here you can see. Then calculate the maximum shear stress and neglect the curvature effect to which the spring material is subjected. So here is the given data, you can find out here the given data. First of all, we have to write what is given. So let us see here, capital D, that is given here, the mean diameter of a spring coil. Then the diameter of a spring wire, that is given here, and the number of active turns, that is given here, and the load acted on a axis of a spring, that is 500 Newton. So as we know that the spring index is nothing but capital C is equal to capital D by D. So the spring index will become 10 50 upon 5, that is 50 upon 5. So as per the standard formulae, the shear stress factor is nothing but Ks, as we have seen in lecture number 3, that is Ks is nothing but 1 plus 1 upon 2C. Here earlier we have calculated the value of C, so putting that value of C in this equation, so we will get the Ks. So Ks is equal to 1.05. So here you can see 1.05, and so on the maximum shear stress, that is neglecting the effect of wire curvature effect, wire curvature. So we are going to neglect the curvature effect of a spring. So the formula will become tau is equal to Ks into 8WD upon pi d cube. Here we are having the value of Ks, that is 1.05. We are having the value of W, 8 into W is 500 Newton. We are having the value of D, that is how much? 50. Then we are having the value of small d, how much it is? That is 5 cube. So finally it will become the shear stress is equal to 534.17 Newton per mm square, or also you can give it as a 534.7 megapascal MPa. So it is all about our today's lecture. So in further lecture we are going to see how exactly the calculation of a stiffness is done, calculation of a free length is done, solid length, then considering the curvature effect, then neglecting the curvature effect, and the applications of a railway wagon spring, safety valves, etc. So in further lecture, we are going to see the next problem and the types of problems which will be asked in MSBT exam. So if any queries, then comment me in your comment box. So thank you for today's lecture. Thank you very much.